What is up, everybody? It is your host, Deeper Depths, with the Deeper Level Podcast, and we are back again. I'm super excited about this stream and this podcast tonight. Please take a moment and share this if you are watching this on YouTube, if you are on Twitter, and you are part of that community that has been sharing it. Make sure that you get the word out and share this right now because we're about to have a banging stream tonight. I'm super excited to have my special guest, but I just want to say hello to everybody. You can put your comments in the chat. Good to see everybody again. We have been having a dynamic time here on the Deeper Level Podcast, and it has been stellar. Listen, a lot is happening today in the gaming community, and so I see that Twitter is just lit up right now. We had the PlayStation State of Play earlier today, and we know that the PlayStation VR2 has just dropped, and then also Venom is now a playable character on DLC for Midnight Sun. So I'm going to be checking that out probably right after that stream on tonight. But before we get to that, let me tell you, we have an incredible person who is on this stream with me. My special guest is the best-selling author of Slay, The Cost of Knowing, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Wings of Fury, and The Jump. She also writes video games and has contributed to several projects such as The Lost Legends of Redfall, Subnautica, Below Zero, Spider-Man 2 for PS5, and Wolverine for PS5. Brittney is an NAACP Image Award nominee, an ALA Black Caucus Youth Literary Award winner, and an Ignite Award finalist. Would you please help me welcome tonight my very special guest, none other than the incredible Brittney Morris. Welcome to the stream, Brittney. How are you tonight?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Listen, I know you have a lot going on, and so I'm just grateful that you would take time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us tonight on the Deeper Level and just be able to answer these questions tonight that I've put together. It's an extreme honor. And again, I know you're super busy. How's Brittney today? Before we get into it, how's your week been going?
My week has been great. Thanks for asking. My 2-year-old has been doing great at daycare, and he's just thriving. We're all over a virus that was sweeping through his daycare, so we're all just very happy to be upright right now.
Right. Absolutely. Trust me. Myself and my wife can relate. We've got twins. Of course, they are 15, getting ready to be 16 years old now. But I remember going through that 2-year-old phase. And so, you know, those are very critical moments. Of course, they're all over the place. They definitely keep you busy. So I know you and your husband are just full of joy and full of happiness right now, just raising an incredible family.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, we want to get into it tonight. Of course, many of us know you as a writer, but the cool thing about tonight is because we get to hear the voice of the writer. And I think that's really incredible because every writer has a voice. And so tonight, we are excited about getting into these questions. Your latest novel, which is due out 3/7 of 23, that is March the 7th of 23 this year. It is called The Jump. Can you talk to us a bit about that? Because I'm excited. Once I just kind of read, what it was going to be about. I mean, this is strictly my type of novel. So please chat with us just a moment about what that's going to be about.
Yeah, I'd love to. So The Jump is a young adult novel about 4 working class teens living in Seattle, and they are all amateur cryptologists on a team called Jericho. So they're exploring digital clues in a scavenger hunt citywide, and it's an extremely high stakes puzzle that they're going through in the hopes of winning influence and power because they're trying to take down an oil refinery going up in their neighborhood. So it's extremely high octane, very fast paced. There's daring chases and escapes through the sewer system and all sorts of wild shenanigans. So I'm excited to share it with the world.
Wow, I think that is incredible. I know that a lot of work goes into a novel, and of course, you have just a repertoire of literary works that you've already written, and I know that pulls a lot out of us you know, as an author, or a lot of out of you as an author. And so I just want to salute you in advance, and I certainly will be supporting this project. So make sure, everyone, I'm going to run a banner at the bottom that you pre-ordered that. It's available for pre-order right now. You can follow Brittney on her social media, also over on Twitter. I'll be running a banner of that. So make sure that you get in on that, and let's continue to support this incredible woman on the work that she is doing. I've always wondered, Brittney, who do writers read when they select a book? As a writer, and having as many notches as you have up under your belt, who are some of your inspirations that inspired you to become the person that you are today?
Oh, I love that question. I mean, I've been super lucky to have so much support around me this whole journey. Even, you know, starting with my parents who read my very unpublishable work when I was a kid. But I mean, some of my inspirations in publishing and in books include Angie Thomas. She wrote The Hate You Give. She wrote On the Come Up, Concrete Rose, and she's just an all around incredible person. I had the pleasure of meeting her in person. And then one of my best friends, who's also an author, Roseanne Brown, she wrote A Song of Raids and Ruin, the series. Which, long story short, it's basically about Aladdin and Jasmine if they were both trained assassins sent to kill each other.
Wow. Wow.
So
Yeah.
she is a mastermind at world building and just so many other incredible things I aspire to. Um, and then I have to list my husband and son again. I mean, they keep me going every day. I hear my son laugh, and I feel like I can do anything. So.
Wow, that is beautiful. That is incredible. And trust me, I'm taking notes. And for those of you who are in the chat, please make sure that you take notes on that, because I believe that I'm going to go definitely grab some of the works of the individuals that you just mentioned to see what that's about, especially that whole Aladdin thing, you know, being an assassin. I think that's really, really good. Certainly would be interested in that type of book to read. So that's incredible. It's just always great to know who inspires the people who inspire us every day. Because trust me, you are an inspiration to many. Your work speaks for itself. Your name speaks for itself. So it's just always good to kind of know, you know, the people that inspired you and the folks that you are into. Now, as a writer, I was pleasantly surprised when reading your bio that not only are you a writer, but you are also a gamer. And of course, you know, I stream, you know, as a gamer, and have been a gamer since I was old enough to hold a controller. You know, I go back as far as 1984 with the 8-bit Nintendo. So, you know, I've been gaming for
Nice.
a long time, and I've seen games evolve. But you are particularly an indie gamer. You enjoy indie games. What is your favorite indie game so far?
Oh, what a difficult question. Oh, there's so many good ones. Okay, I'll narrow it down to a few. So so I have to mention Undertale. I mean,
Okay.
that might be my number one, honestly. Doki Doki Literature Club has to be on the list. Any game really that like lulls you into a sense of you're playing a certain game, and then by the time you get to the end of the game, you realize you've been playing a completely different genre.
Sure. Yes.
Um, like
Yes.
anything that will blow my mind like that. Papers, Please is on there. Recently, It Takes Two. I've been playing that with my husband. It's a lot of
Yes.
fun. There's a game called Gorogoa, which is like a game where you play through art, and it's specifically Middle Eastern art, which I think is super cool.
Okay.
And probably also most recently Pentiment, which is where I think you play through the 16th century, which sounds wild. And
Wow.
I'm not doing this game justice by pitching it, but it's really great.
Okay. And that's called Pentiment.
Pentiment, yes.
Okay. Okay. I'll definitely have to look at that one, because everything else that you name, I'm familiar with, but that one I'm not as familiar with. So I'll definitely have to check that out, because personally, I enjoy indie games too, because again, these are smaller companies, you know, who take a lot of pride in their work. In fact, I played a game not too long ago that was developed by one man solely. He made the game for his son. Didn't even initially want it to go mainstream, but it went mainstream, and it played well. So it was beautiful. Always good to support the little guy. That's incredible, Brittney. Thanks for sharing that with us. We're living in a wonderful time now, which I'm pretty sure you can agree that when diversity is more present than it's ever been. And I've always cheered for African American females specifically because you're excelling in a market that for years has been dominated by men as it relates to gaming and comics. Do you feel that sense of pride to be where you are in the industry, not arrogantly, of course, but more so as a barrier breaker? Because I'm sure you've had your fair share of challenges to make it to this place in your life. Can you elaborate on this? Because maybe there's someone who is watching this with dreams and wants to know that it's possible. Talk to us a bit just about that side of it.
Absolutely, I'm happy to. Yeah, I mean, space is growing every day for us in the industry. I mean, more and more people of color, more and more women in this industry who are just getting into it, who are, longstanding pioneers in the industry. I'm lucky to work with a few of them, and just I'm really optimistic about the future. And it was a really cool experience, in particular working with Unknown Worlds on Subnautica Below Zero, because it was my first experience writing a Black character in a video game. Before then, I was writing Redwall, so I was writing a mouse. It wasn't a person at all. But it was really, really cool to get to write the story of a Black woman and exploring, water planets in space. So just having experiences like that has just been one of the coolest parts of my job. And I'm so lucky to be surrounded by people who have helped me get to where I am. So I guess overall, I'm just feeling immense gratitude about it.
Absolutely. And I can hear that gratitude. What you're saying is very sincere right now. And I guess that's why it's so important sometimes to have an audible, because I'm hearing the sincerity in your voice. And, I just want you to know that, we're cheering for you. I think it's incredible to have accomplished what you've accomplished so far. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. I mean, like, this is literally the beginning. Like you said, space is being created every day. I recently played through Forspoken, of course, which has a Black female lead character by Square Enix. And let me tell you, it was beautifully done. I really enjoyed the game thoroughly. And again, just great to see that representation, because we're living in one of the best times as it relates to diversity and inclusion. So again, keep doing what you're doing. Now, I will say that I've heard several times, I had the opportunity in November to interview Tony Todd on my podcast, who of course is, voicing Venom for Insomniac Games. And he was telling me that Insomniac itself is a very diverse and multicultural company. And he said it's a great place to work. Just the culture in the workplace when he went and visited was just incredible. And obviously, a lot is riding on the game Spider-Man 2. And hands down, it's probably the most anticipated game of 2023. My next question is that when you got the call / email, however that happened, to be a writer on the project of Spider-Man 2. Now, of course, you're not new to this, you're true to this, because many people don't know that, you wrote the prequel, to Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is Wings of Fury. But when you got the call that you would be included on the project of Spider-Man 2 and also Wolverine, what was your initial reaction? I mean, what was going through your mind when it was confirmed that you would be contributing to both of these stellar projects?
I mean, I was over the moon. I could barely contain myself. I was so excited. But I mean, like, I already knew Insomniac was a great company to work with since I had experience working on the prequel novel. I knew they were great people. And as a bonus, I got to get all of my, like, oh my goodness, I'm writing for Marvel, what a huge IP, butterflies out of my stomach before, just from writing the novel. When I first got the call from my agent, and she said, Marvel is on the phone, they want to talk to you, they want you to write their book. at first I was like, who, me? um, and then she explained to me that it made sense because my first novel was heavily inspired by Black Panther. It's about a Wakanda inspired virtual reality video game. And so they knew I could write action, and they knew I could write, a book inspired by the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so it felt like a natural segue.
Wow. I just to even get a call from your agent to just know that Marvel is on the phone, that Marvel wants to talk to you. I mean, I'm just honestly, I'm living vicariously through you right now, Brittney, because I'm trying to put myself in those shoes. Like, and I'm not even an actor or anything like that. But if anybody ever told me that Marvel was on the phone, I mean, I promise you, I would just lose it. So I know that's just got to be an incredible feeling that you have going with just knowing that you're contributing to something that literally is probably the biggest thing. Well, hands down, no, I'm gonna say it's the biggest thing happening this year in gaming, hands down. Um, have you taken it in of just how big of a deal this is to be involved with Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, and to be writing for arguably the greatest development team on the face of the planet? Insomniac Studios is just what they've been able to do with even Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales. Like, do you get it? I mean, like, does your friends text you, or even your husband, do they remind you, like, look, do you realize what this means?
It's funny. I Most of the people in my life are actually not gamers. My nephews are into it, but they're like 100% into Minecraft, so nobody really talks to me about any of it. But I mean, it is like just such an incredible opportunity, and it's so exciting, and just the people that I get to work with are incredible. And I knew when I wrote the book, which was the first time I was writing, the voice of Peter and Miles, I knew I had to get it right. I knew I had to nail the voice. And Spider-Man is a big voice.
Yes.
So that was mainly my focus when I was writing the book. And so I'm glad I got to get that practice out, and I'm just so excited to keep writing the voices.
Wow. Wow. That is amazing. And what better actors even to be having to bring those voices to life? Because let me tell you, Najee Jeter and Yuri Lowenthal are just incredible. And then, having Tony Todd as a Venom, I mean, it's just, I can't wait to see what this game, is going to entail, just the storyline of it. And of course, actors play a major role in any production. And there, of course, again, there's an all-star cast, but they can only bring to life an amazing experience of what is first, and an amazing literary work. So great writing, in my opinion, is the foundation to a great outcome with the finished product. My next question is, after the initial excitement hit and you realized that this was now your reality and you're writing for this story, did the weight of responsibility hit you emotionally? Like, was there ever a moment where you were like, am I capable of this? I mean, were you heavy? Was it a burden? I mean, what were you, after the excitement wore off and the responsibility kicked in, what was going through your mind?
That's a great question. I mean, yeah, I'll take this back to when I was first writing my book Slay, because it's largely about the Black diaspora, and it's about a girl who feels a responsibility to speak for her entire race, and it raises the question, like, should she have to, and is she capable of speaking for everyone? And so as I was writing this book, I found myself also writing as as what many people are going to take as the voice of the Black diaspora. And so I had to ask those big questions. Am I capable of writing this book? And while I was writing Miles Morales Wings of Fury, I really had to sink into the idea that this is Spider-Man, and this is, Marvel's character, but this is also my interpretation of the character, and it's my voice speaking
Yes.
through the character. And I also had the filter of Insomniac games right beside me to, help me look at everything and be a source of knowledge. So I felt very supported through the whole process. And everything went really smoothly. I can't complain.
Awesome. That is incredible. And just having that support, as you stated, from Insomniac Games, again, speaks a lot about the character of the company that you're working with. Because again, I've heard nothing but great things. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say Insomniac is the GOAT. So listen, Insomniac, if you see this stream, if you see this broadcast, you are the GOAT, hands down, of development in video games. So to date, you have several successful books that are bestsellers. You're currently working on some of the biggest titles, again, in gaming history. Seeing where you are right now in your career, is there something that is still on the vision board that is a goal of what you would like to accomplish?
For sure. Yeah. So after writing The Jump, I got a taste of writing a thriller, and I
Okay.
kind of don't want that to go away yet. So I'd really love to write another thriller. I'd love to write a middle grade novel, so ages 8 to 12. Um, I'd love to write a picture book because I read like 4 or 5 to my kiddo every night, and I think there are some gaps in the industry that could use filling.
You got it.
Um, I'd also love to write an adult novel one day, and maybe even a TV show. Fingers crossed.
Wow. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yes, definitely fingers crossed. And the cool thing about that, and in which I won't, talk too much about it on stream, but I see how that can happen. I mean, I see how that blessing can literally hit your life, especially with, what PlayStation is doing as it relates to, bringing things to life like The Last of Us. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there, but you on your way. And let me just say, you on your way. I can definitely see that happening. Let's take a break for a moment and shift gears. Me personally, I love movies. Like, I'm a movie buff, and again, movies are story driven. So as a writer, I'm curious to know, what is your top 5 movies of all time?
Oh boy, top five.
Top five. Top five.
Oh man. All right. Okay. So I got to name Train to Busan.
Okay.
That's a good one. Completely switching gears. Ponyo. It's my favorite Miyazaki movie.
Okay.
There's an anime called Mind Game, which it features like 30 different art styles. Have you seen it?
Mind Game. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
It is. It's a wild movie. Bullet Train has to be on there. I just saw that.
Hey, hold up.
Fantastic.
Gary Davis, my homeboy Gary Davis is on. I need you to type in the chat, Gary, what you had just said about Bullet Train to me in a personal message. Just go ahead and put that in chat because you called it, bro. Gary said that. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Okay. So the only movie that made me cry this year was Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's fantastic. And I can't tell you anything about it without spoiling it, but it's wonderful.
Okay. Now, once again, everything that see me and Gary, he's a classmate of mine, and the 2 movies that you just named, Everything Everywhere All at Once, he had said that one, and Bullet Train, as far as what he thinks was the most well written, and just really great. He said it was a sleeper movie. There it is. A sleeper movie of the year is
Yeah.
what he had stated. So there it is, Brittney Morris. You got it. Her top 5. There it is, peeps. She just said it. So check those out, because I promise you, you will not be disappointed. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, as a writer, because again, I'm pretty sure you're analytical when you're watching movies as a writer, especially from the writing perspective. Can you actually watch a movie without judging it or critiquing it?
Oh, that's a good question. So it depends if I'm liking the movie or not. If I so when I go into watching a movie, I'm like all set to take notes and like study it and like listen to the writing and like how am I feeling as a viewer or reader. Um if I start to not like what I'm seeing, I start taking notes on like, okay, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done this other thing. Why couldn't they? And then I fall into the judgment slope. But if I'm liking the movie, then I'm taking notes on, oh, I should do that. Like I like, maybe they're coming up with ideas and using mechanisms I'd never thought of and getting real creative, like Bullet Train, which kept me guessing the whole time. So I kind of go two different ways about it. Either I love a movie or I'm like thinking it.
So there's no gray areas. Like either you like it or you don't.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing a movie I felt meh about.
Gotcha. Hey, that's all right. I'll take that. I promise you, I'll take that. What advice, Brittney, would you give to other writers? Like maybe there is an aspiring writer watching us tonight, or will see this, and they look up to you. They, see where you are as an established writer in the industry. What advice would you give to writers on tonight?
I love that question. So for people who, because I caught the phrase aspiring writer, for people who call themselves an aspiring writer, I want to give the encouragement that you are already a writer.
Wow.
And if you're an aspiring author, or an aspiring game writer, or there's somewhere else you would like to be with your writing, my encouragement includes, writing a lot, reading a lot, learning a lot, continuing learning. Ask any writer out, and ask any good writer out there, and we're all still learning. And lastly, find your people. Find people, surround yourself with people that you can trust, whose critiques you trust, who have experience. I think that's all I got. And good luck. And you have people rooting for you, including me.
Awesome. And that is so true. With anything that we do, to surround ourselves with people that are like-minded and just, positive energy and people that we can glean from. That is so true. Words of wisdom tonight, y'all, from Brittney Morris. Please soak that in. Writers, if you're listening tonight, if you're watching tonight, if you're watching the video on demand, whatever the case may be, please soak that wealth of information in that she just dropped, because it is super essential and so important. I've got two final questions as we prepare to bring things to a close, because again, I like to have integrity with the amount of time that I asked you to reserve tonight. And again, thank you so much for making yourself available just to even talk with us in this capacity. I want to ask you a question. This is a bonus question. Do you have your outfit picked out for the Game Awards this year? Because y'all going. Do you got it picked out? Do you know what your fit gonna be?
Oh, I don't. I don't think I own anything fancy after the pandemic. I need to get it together.
Well, let me tell you, pick it out, Brittney, because I promise you, y'all are at the Game Awards this year. I mean, I see y'all taking it home. I don't see anything else holding a candle to Spiderman 2 on PS5. So get ready, because it's coming. And so when it comes, I just want to say I told you so. Okay. Final question. Let's wrap up with this. How excited are you for us as players to experience the story of Spider-Man 2 for PS5?
Indescribably excited. I mean, we're putting so much heart into this game, and I just can't wait for the world to see it.
Yes, absolutely. There you have it, peeps. Brittney Morris tonight, the writer of PS5, Marvel's PS5, Spider-Man 2, and Wolverine PS5. Listen, thank you so much, Brittney, for your time. And will you do this? Will you do me a favor? Because I've already talked to Tony Todd about this very same thing. Because again, we respect NDAs, and again, we respect the place that it's taking you to get in your life to be at this point. So we definitely don't want to do anything that's disrespectful to the brand. But as time gets closer, after the release of the game, whenever you are able to share more, would you be willing to come back to the Deeper Level podcast and chat with us?
Yeah, I've had a great time.
Awesome. And I may do one big thing. Who knows? I may do one big thing where we've got Tony and a couple others and yourself all on at one time, because he's down and he's willing to come back and excited about doing that. Listen, thank you so much for your time. Any final remarks and comments?
Just if you want more information, all the up-to-date information about Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, check the PlayStation blog. That's where you're going to get the most up-to-date stuff.
Awesome. Awesome. And let me tell you, people watching that blog like a hawk, Brittney. I'm telling you, they are watching that blog like a hawk.
It's a good
Insomniac Games
resource.
the other day shared on their Twitter, and I thought this was so funny. And I'm gonna let you go, but they shared on their Twitter the other day the words no. Like we ain't saying nothing, y'all ain't getting nothing out of us, you know, because they just had a PlayStation State of Play, and I thought it was just the most hilarious thing. And even when people was commenting on the chat, they was like, well, what about this? No. I mean, that was their response the whole time was no. But again, you cannot rush greatness. So again, keep doing what you all are doing. We're going to be here. The fan base is super, super excited. We can't wait to play it. Can't wait to experience the story. And it's just an honor to know that I've had the opportunity to talk with someone and interview someone that is contributing to that project. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Brittney. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Again, this is Deeper Depths and Brittney Morris signing off of the Deeper Level. We'll see you again on the next stream.
Thanks.
Peace.
Bye.